Hello there, guys, and welcome back to Blues Fans TV for yet another Champions League live review. Can't talk today. Live review by myself as Chelsea managed to beat Rennes, Stade Rennes, by 2-1 away from home with a very late winner by Olivier Giroud, who turned, to the saviour today, which was bloody brilliant. And it was a tough game. It was the tough game that I expected, maybe even tougher than I expected, but certainly a lot more difficult than a lot of people seem to have expected. Let me actually check. Did we have more or less possession in the end? We had less possession in the end. We had 49% of the ball come the end of the game, which funnily enough was also the same stat against PSG when Rennes lost 3-0, I guess. But it was a really tough game. We started really well. Didn't take our chances, especially team of Werner. We did make it 1-0 then, but as the longer the game went on, the less control we had. We lost any sort of control. Rennes had one corner after the other. Eventually, they scored from one, but it was a bloody tough one. It was a bloody tough one. But hey, I'll talk through everything there is to talk about in this game. And of course, be sure to subscribe to Blues Fans TV if you haven't already. That'd be massively appreciated. And drop a like on this live stream, on this video. If you're watching it right now, go down below, smash the like button. That would be absolutely brilliant. And of course, make sure to check out my personal channel as well. That'd be massively appreciated as well. That is not the link I wanted. Lewis changed it. I wanted to say, check out my channel, but Lewis changed it to his name. But, subscribe to my channel. The link to it is down in the description below. And I will be doing a live deep dive and analysis of today's game tomorrow night over there. So if you don't want to miss out on any of that, and it's really engaging. I get your guys' thoughts and opinions involved, so make sure you tune in for that. Like I said, link is down in the description. That'd be massively appreciated. And just quickly, let me shout out our sponsors. Pre-order Football Manager 21 with the link down in the description and get 10% off using the code BluesFansTV. And also, if you want to order any of the new Chelsea kits, including that sick away kit we played in tonight, make sure you use the other link down in the description below and use our promo code READY for up to 30% off selected items. But let's talk about the game and let's get into talking about the lineup. Let's get the lineup on screen. That is the team that we went with today. And, I was fairly happy with that. I was slightly surprised, actually, by N'Golo Kante being rested. Didn't necessarily expect that, and Jorginho to come into the team. But that's what happened. It was a bit of a mix of a 4-3-3 and a 4-2-3-1, I will say that. But to me, I would have said it was more of a 4-3-3 than a 4-3-1 because Kovacic was very often significantly higher up the pitch than Jorginho was. But of course, Edouard Mendy was in goal. A centre-back partnership of, again, Thiago Silva and Kurt Zouma. Right back was this time round Cesar Azpilicueta rather than Reece James. Ben Chilwell kept his spot at left back. Jorginho, like I said, as the sole DM, if you will. Mateo Kovacic is the right centre midfielder, and Mason Mount, of course, Duracell Bunny, as someone tweeted earlier, started as the left centre midfielder. Timo Werner again on the left wing. Tammy Abraham kept his spot as a striker, and Callum Hudson-Odoi, somewhat surprisingly to me, started on the right wing. I wanted him to start, but I didn't expect Frank to actually start him. And like I said, we actually got into the game really well. And I know a lot of people already got the hate on Twitter. A lot of people say, "Oh, it's outrageous that I'm, having this much of a go at Timo Werner, and relax, and we scored anyway, and we won anyway, calm down, and he wasn't poor, this and that." Let's get things straight. The guy was signed to Chelsea to get goals. We were also criticizing Torres and Morata when they were missing chances. Just because he's not Spanish doesn't mean we're not allowed to criticize them. That's not how it works. And it's great that we won, but that doesn't hide the fact that Timo Werner was poor. And I will be more positive in just a second, but it just, it pisses me off when people say, "Oh, don't worry about it. F off and whatever else." No, he was poor. He's been really poor 2 games in a row now. He's missed, just missed one. Well, no, actually, he missed 2 sitters today. He missed 2 today and 3 against Newcastle. That's 5 sitters in 2 games, 0 goals scored. That's outrageous. He can't be doing that. The guy costs £50 million. We signed him to score goals. This is unacceptable, all right? He needs to sort that out. And I don't care about people talking about he needs a rest, this and that. The guy played every game for Leipzig last season. He missed 1 or 2 games. He was involved in every single of the 34 Bundesliga games last season. The guy's used to playing every 3 days. This is not an excuse. And he even was rested for the first game of that Germany played during the international break. So I don't know what people talk about. He's tired, this and that. Lampard didn't even take him off. Lampard, sometimes I might disagree with his substitution, and sometimes all of us might. But if he knows his player is tired and close to risking injury and not performing to his best because he's tired, he would have taken him off. He didn't take him off. So clearly he's not tired, is he? Do you know what I mean? Think about it. But hey, let's talk about the game. Let's be more positive. Like I said, we started really well. And Callum Hudson-Odoi would have had an assist very early on. I can't remember what minute it was. But Timo Werner literally missed from the edge of the 6-yard box. He literally skied it so high. And I know they're more difficult than they look, and everyone has missed them, but it's just come on at an unfortunate time for Timo. You know, if you miss this stat, you know, after scoring the 2 goals against Southampton, no one cares. But because he's already missed 3 against Newcastle, and now he missed that one again today, it just didn't start well. And of course, an early goal would have been a big advantage. And like I said, we started well. Took a little while to properly get going. Oh no, not took a little while to, I don't know, create another chance, I guess, after the Timo Werner one, if you will. I feel like Mason Mount had one, but that was after the goal. Let me mention that later. First, we actually did score. I can't remember if we had anything between Werner's chance and the goal. But in the 22nd minute, we did score through Callum Hudson-Odoi. I was very, very pleased for him. And arguably even better than the finish was the work in advance to it, in the build-up to it, through Mason Mount. Incredible, you know, tackling, pressing, just work rate by him to win the ball off of Rennes and play an unbelievable over-the-top ball. Rennes, honestly, shocking defending at that point. Like, why was there so much space? I mean, literally, Hudson-Odoi could have squared it to Tammy, could have squared it to Werner, or could have gone for it himself. There was so much space. But anyway, an unbelievable over-the-top ball by Mason Mount. Callum Hudson-Odoi, you know, starting his run at the perfect moment. Controlling the ball well and then slotting it home perfectly. At least someone in the team can actually finish, because, you know, Timo Werner missed exactly the same kind of chance late on. Thankfully, Olivier Giroud saved him, like Alex Goldberg tweeted, saying, you know, Werner owes Olivier Giroud a lifetime supply of croissants now, which is funny, but also true, because that is genuinely outrageous. But, you know, after that chance, okay, we had the one with Mason Mount with following across from Ben Chilwell, where I'm still not sure whether that ball went out of play, but apparently didn't. Chilwell cut it back to Mason Mount, slightly wrong-footed him or slightly behind Mount, so he didn't really get a good connection on. He still managed to direct it on target, but Gomes, the goalkeeper, pulled off a really good save to keep it at 1-0 at the time. And then for the rest of the first half, it was just more and more just Rennes. Let me just check how many corners they actually had. I want to see this. How many corners did they have? 11 corners, and we had 3. That's crazy. It's very, very, very rare that you know, a team like Rennes has so many corners against us. But hey, this is exactly what I told you yesterday. They're a good team. They like to have possession. They're a good footballing team, and they're really dangerous from set pieces. Now look at that. See, just listen to me in my previews. Do you know, I know what I'm actually talking about. They had more of the ball than we did, and the score from a set piece. See, I'm telling you. I told you all along anyways. But yeah, no, they got into the game really well, and Mondi had to make saves. He had to make some good saves in the first half. He had to make some good saves in the second half, and he was really, really good, especially that one save in the second half where he kind of, it was a set piece as well. He saved it with his hands, then he kind of bounced, was on its way to bouncing behind him into the goal. He kicked it back into his hands with his foot and then caught it collectively. That was brilliant save. And he had another few very, very good saves as well. We did make some substitutions at some point in the second half, but second half, really, it was still just Rennes for the most part. I mean, it took a little while in the second half for Rennes to actually create significant chances, but the longer the second half went on, especially, they had just chance after chance after chance, especially with the corners as well. But in the 68th minute, we made our first double substitution with N'Golo Kante coming on for Mason Mount and Olivier Giroud coming on to replace Tammy Abraham. Kante playing in a much higher role than I would have expected in that situation, which I really didn't understand. He was so high up the pitch. Like, honestly, Jorginho was still the DM, and, you know, Kante came back to help Jorginho at times, but still pushed up next to the striker at times, which was a bit crazy. And then another 6 minutes later, we made another 2 substitutions. As Hakim Ziyech, sorry, you guys want me to say, came on for Callum Hudson-Odoi, and Kai Havertz made his return from, you know, catching a certain thing, unlike Kepa. And Kai Havertz came on for Mateo Kovacic. And then in the 85th minute, they scored. They scored the equaliser, which was the problem, you know. Had they scored in the 60th minute maybe, or 50th minute, maybe we would have found it easier to come back in the game. Okay, we still won anyway, but it was the very last ditch. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, Guirassy, that's how I'm gonna pronounce his name. Did score from a corner. Told you they're dangerous from corners. And hey, you know, it was kind of, I can't tell you who was at fault for it, whether it was Thiago Silva or Kurt Zouma. The guy was between the two. I mean, Thiago Silva was a yard in front of him, and Zouma was a yard behind him. They were both not on him enough. I don't know which one of them should have been there, but neither of them were. Fantasy PGA Tour donated £5. Really do appreciate that, mate. Saying Werner was poor, but doesn't warrant the angry rant. He's young, and at a new club, he makes so many chances for himself. Is a positive way to look. You're not wrong with that. and I'm not saying was less getting angry at Timo. I was more getting angry at people telling me that I can't criticize him, because that's outrageous. You know, I am angry at him because I'm expecting him to take this chance, but that's not because I'm like, oh, you know, I just know how good he is, and I know how good he can be. So I want him to take these chances, because I told you on this channel before, and I told you on my channel as well, check it out in the description again. I think we can win the league. I'm not going to say like we will, but I think we can. And if we're going to win the league, we need Timo Werner scoring, and he just has to take these chances. I can't explain it any differently than that. I honestly can't. But like I said, they scored in the 85th minute, and it was, you know, tits up. You know, it wasn't going well anymore. But then out of nowhere, I can't actually remember. I didn't really properly see it, but Hakim Ziyech won the ball back himself. But out of nowhere, in the 91st minute, Hakim Ziyech had the ball in a great position just outside the box. Olivier Giroud and Timo Werner in front of him. He found the perfectly weighted ball to Timo Werner. And Timo Werner was one more with the goalkeeper and missed again. Well, he didn't miss. He hit it at the goalkeeper and it bounced straight up in the air. And Olivier Giroud came in with the leap of bloody dreams. And with the head of dreams, the goalie wasn't yet back on his line. And, you know, Olivier Giroud had it in. The one defender actually tried to keep it out with his hand as well. Even failed at that, but, you know, fair enough. And we won 2-1 in the end. So it's crazy. It's crazy. That was what a crazy finish to the game. And honestly, did we deserve to win that game? Probably not. But is that the biggest difference to last season? Without a shadow of a doubt. Because I guarantee you last season we don't win this game. Question is, we probably would have even lost it with that second half, how that was going. Because, yeah, we conceded in the end, but we were defensively really, really brilliant, considering under how much pressure Rennes actually put us. And if you think about last season, Rennes had 11 corners. They probably would have scored about 6 goals from those last season. And no, they only scored 1. So, you know, you could really, really say it was, you know, a big improvement from there. And people talking about, like, the Spain result changed Timo Werner. No, like, it's a you know, Nations League game. This isn't the end of the world for someone like Timo Werner. Like, it's not a Champions League final. It's not even a league game. No one really actually cares about the Nations League. Not even the players. Like, not even the players really care about this. And like I said, he had the rest in Germany's first game. So I can't be having people telling me, oh, he's tired. And maybe he is a little bit fatigued. But his first chance was in the 5th minute. And if you're not even and some of the misplaced passes were in the first half as well. If he can't be fresh enough to do those things in the first half, then first of all, ridiculous for Frank to start him. And Frank would see that. Like, Frank wouldn't start him if he was so bad that he couldn't actually play good passes in the first half anymore, right? You need to think about it. You can't just say, oh, he's tired just because he's a new signing and you like him. It don't work like that. You know, just accept that he had a poor game. It's all right. He will come back better and stronger. He will score again. But that doesn't take it away from me to criticize him when he does badly. You know, I'm not saying sell him now. I'm not saying, like, get rid of him. I'm not saying, oh, I don't ever want to see him start again. That's not what I'm saying. But you still have to criticize it. If he misses chances, like, we can't not just run around and say, oh, poor him. Oh, I just missed another sitter. Oh, the 5th sitter in 2 games. Oh, how can I be mad at him? I love him so much. Like, this is not how it goes. It's not how it goes. You just have to mention it when someone gets it wrong. And he did. And it's fine. You know, we move on. And we won. So, you know, really, and I can't really be too displeased. So I guess before I get to your guys' comments, let me get the lineup up once again and talk through the team and the performances. In my opinion, Edouard Mendy, bloody brilliant. The guy made, let me actually check how many saves he made. Can I see this here? Anyway. No, that was the Rennes goalkeeper, not who I meant to look at. 4 saves. Thought it was more. We made four saves, which is still, you know, not bad in the slightest. 3 or 4 of them really, really good. Very pleased with that. Zouma and Thiago Silva, I thought they were both actually brilliant, other than when we conceded the goal, because yes, we struggled and we didn't have the best of games, but I thought the centre backs were really good. Aspie and Ben Chilwell. Ben Chilwell didn't have the best game, I will admit. Better in the second half, I thought, defensively especially. But Aspie struggles from time to time. It's just different. Like, it's just different. Also, I think if Reece James had played this game, would have been much more dominant in the game, because we found it easier to keep the ball. We have more attacking from the right because we had barely any. I mean, we didn't have that much attacking, just full stop, I guess, but it would have been more with Reece James in there. So Aspie wasn't exactly brilliant. Jorginho, do excuse me. Jorginho's a tough one as well, I think. He had good moments, but he had bad moments. He had a couple of good tackles, a couple of times where he just wasn't in the right position. I wouldn't say he was necessarily awful, but he definitely didn't have the defensive cover and the defensive solidity that we get from N'Golo Kante in that position. And because he doesn't really play as a proper regista these days because the passing, let's say, goes through him most of the time rather than through the centre-backs and then through the full-back areas. It's a slightly different role, and, you know, he doesn't thrive on that all that much. I wouldn't say he was awful, but he definitely wasn't good. Mateo Kovacic, I would put along the similar lines, maybe slightly better than Jorginho. Kovacic definitely worked his socks off, that's for sure, but he had a lot of bad touches, and his passes didn't really come off the forward passes, so that was a bit of an issue. But in general, not awful, but I wouldn't say good. And I know a lot of you love Kovacic, and you would probably slate me for saying Kovacic wasn't that great again. But, you know, Pep is a fraud, and Mendy was fire. Thank you for a $2 donation by someone called I Am Sudan. Interesting how you can be a country, but, you know, fair play. Who am I to tell you what you are? But Pep is a fraud, yeah, kind of is these days. And then Mendy was on fire. Mendy was on fire. I don't know. Apparently, he wants his name actually to be pronounced Mendy, which makes no sense to me, considering he's French. Well, he's not French, but he's French speaking. And the French way is just pronounced Mendy, but hey, fair enough. If he wants to call himself Mendy, fair enough. But yeah, Mason Mount, probably our best player today, in my opinion. It would have been one of the centre-backs. No, actually, it was Mendy, wasn't it? Yeah, it was Mendy still. But let's say our best outfield player would have been one of the centre-backs, but then we did concede the goal. And Mason Mount, I know he didn't do crazy amounts, but that assist and that winning the ball back in that moment was just so incredible. That gives him so many extra points. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. In general, I thought he was one of our better players as well. Other than the 2 goals, had the only other real chance we had. So very good, very pleased with that. And, well, I guess Werner's missed in the first half, but shot on target, I guess. Werner, I mentioned him already. He was just poor, you know, on all fronts. You know, his passing wasn't good. His runs weren't good. One time I will criticize Olivier Giroud a little bit, because before we scored, I can't remember who, but someone played a through ball to Werner, and Giroud tried to control it and did control it. Otherwise, Werner probably would have been through on goal. At least I would have given him another chance. And hey, maybe he would have scored that, and I wouldn't be sitting here criticizing himself. You know, difficult one, but hey, that's how life goes, and we won anyway, so I'm not that fast. But yeah, Werner struggled. He had that one shocking pass in the first half where he tried to play through ball to Chilwell, I think, from a 1-2, and he literally just passed it out of play. And he had no direction on it, no power on it. Like, it was honestly one of the worst passes I've ever seen. And he missed 2 sitters. I can't just let him off and say he was actually good. I just can't do that. Tammy, though, also poor. Not poor in the sense that Timo Werner was poor in that he missed chances, but Tammy was poor that his holder play wasn't good. He struggled against the 2 centre-backs more than Olivier Giroud did when he came on. And he just wasn't really involved much, in all honesty. So I can't really say it was good, I have to say. But Hudson-Odoi was good. You know, Hudson-Odoi was good. Obviously, he came off after an hour or an hour and a bit. But he scored, you know, assisted Timo Werner's huge chance in the first few minutes. So can't really criticise Hudson-Odoi, in my opinion. Had a good game. And we need that. You know, realistically, with how many games we've coming up, who knows how fit Pulisic is and will be when he comes back now. So we need Hudson-Odoi to be fit and to be able to play. So yeah, it was just a bit done tired, Tammy was. There's a difficult one. It's a difficult one. Let me just get a drink. And everyone that's watching right now, which is over 400 of you, make sure you drop a like right now. While I get a drink, do that. That'd be massively appreciated. And also be sure to subscribe to Blues Fans TV and to my channel. Like the name tag here. Like Lawrence Vescoli. Just that on YouTube and subscribe. That'd be great. Well, let's get to some comments that you guys have put into the chat. Jorginho might be the worst ever Chelsea midfielder in the Roman era. I'm pretty sure that's not true, mate. Someone said, have you forgot about Bakayoko? Yes, exactly. Giroud should start against Spurs. See, this is how people get ahead of themselves. Tammy scores 3 in 3 games on the bounce, has one poor game. Giroud comes on and scores a goal that is just a ridiculous goal to happen, and now people saying he should start. I disagree, but hey, everyone can have their opinions. Ragnar Havertz says Havertz was terrible. Actually, let me get rid of the line up on screen. Ragnar Havertz says Havertz was terrible. He has a bit of an Ozil in this game, and I don't mean that in a good way. I mean, but he also just came back after being out for 2 weeks, not training at all for a large chunk of that. So I think it's a bit harsh to say it like that. Kante and Reece are essential. I completely agree, especially Reece James, but also N'Golo Kante. I mean, Kante came on and we still won good. So, you know, you could say that. And fair enough. By the way, I forgot to mention Reece James came on just after Olivier Giroud made it 2-1 at that point. And someone said it's crazy nonsense that I said Timo Werner was poor again. But Timo Werner was really poor against Newcastle. He had one good moment in the whole however many minutes he played. And other than that, he was poor. So let's not say he was great because of one assist, one good moment. Like, it's not how it works. Kovacic and Hudson-Odoi to start versus Spurs. I don't know whether you want that or whether you, I don't know. Hudson-Odoi definitely won't. Kovacic might. Depends on about his fitness and how Lampard thinks Kai did today. King, everyone is shocked about Werner's performance. It's facts. I don't know. Werner missing is worrisome. I agree. Werner's misses are to some extent worrying. I really do agree. I guess his instructions wasn't to score in the first place. Just keep the ball. Don't know what you're talking about, but fair enough. Werner needs to turn up against Spurs and take his chance. I couldn't agree more. Negative people come with negative comments, no criticism, no worries about idiots. It's gone, but fair enough. Who was first person to score against Czech? Don't know. Silva looked knackered. No, he didn't. What are people talking about? He didn't look knackered at all. He looked brilliant. People need to get this out of their head that all these players are tired. These are professional athletes. I know this season is a bit special, a bit different, and they're playing a lot of games. But mind you, from September till January, every season we play every 3 days. So I don't know why people think this is so much worse than usual. It isn't. The only difference is that in the international break, there's 3 games at the moment. That's the only difference. Everything else is the same thing. And Othmane, Harrod, if you're going to ask a question 3 times, Ziyech fast, but Ho gonna score. Actually type it right so I actually understand the sentence, because I don't know what you're trying to say, to be honest. Who would you play against Spurs? Tune in for my preview ahead of the game on Saturday. Werner was clearly overplayed. No, he just had a poor game. Can people just accept that? It's outrageous. You forgot Giroud against Spurs last time. I mean, that is a fair point. That is a fair point. I can't really disagree with that. Fair point. Mount is criminally underrated, and he proved it this game. I couldn't agree more with this. I almost a big fan of Mason Mount. Can't wait for Pulisic to come back. Werner up top should be better. Is it? He won't get less chances if he plays up top. I mean, if he starts scoring, great, but it's not a lack of chances that's the problem with him playing on the wing. It's really not. Jorginho was outmuscled. Of course he was, but, you know. Should we stick to 4-3-3 or switch to 4-2-3-1 versus Spurs with Kai and attacking aid? Well, no. Between those two, 100,000% stick to 4-3-3. I'm just worried that Frank might actually start 3-4-3, which I would be happy with. Alp said it was a boring game. Not sure about that one, but fair enough. Was not a good game, but glad we grounded it out, said Hannah. Yeah, couldn't agree more. Werner, 77 minutes in Germany. Yeah, but not in the first game that Germany played. I can't remember who they played their friendly against, but they didn't play in that. Mount is a matter. He didn't even travel to the German national team. He actually had a few days off in London. They gave him off completely. So, you know, he had rest. Hudson-Odoi showed his defensive side of the game. Yeah, he worked really hard. I have to admit that. Just think Werner should be dropped just to make a statement. He shouldn't live in a bubble. I think that's a bit harsh. I think dropping him is not what's necessary. I think the point is he still makes those chances. You just need to have him go and go and go. And once he scores, he scores. He will be fine. Mount's ball was beautiful. Absolutely. Rest Werner and Kai against Spurs. Rest Kai against Spurs. The man just rested for 2 weeks. What are you talking about? Just wanted to mention Ziyech created 2 big goal scoring chances tonight inside 10 minutes. Yes, he did. Ziyech is absolutely incredible. And someone said Kante and Reece are vital for us. Yes, they are. But so is Hakim Ziyech. And, you know, if anyone doubted that, just look at it today. And even though Hudson-Odoi in his position scored and, you know, would have assisted a goal had Werner taken the chance, it's still kind of different. It's still kind of different. And that's what you get when you have a proper winger in Hudson-Odoi or Pulisic on the left and Ziyech on the right. Then you have that attacking from both sides. Because at the moment, while Timo Werner is having chances, whether he scores them or not, we don't actually have much of an attacking creative outlet from the left side. Because Timo always gets in the scoring position. But other than that run against Newcastle, doesn't actually create that much for other people. And sure, well, yeah, he whips those crosses in, but it's not quite the same as Ziyech and Reece James from the other side. So, you know, once Pulisic comes back, we will have a bit more creativity from both sides, which will make it even more difficult for, you know, opponents to stop us. What's your prediction against Spurs? 2-1 Chelsea. And Aspilicueta has forgotten how to make a proper forward pass. I mean, oh yeah, I did forget to mention one thing. Timo Werner did actually score, but another offside goal. He scored an offside goal against Newcastle, scored an offside goal today. Very, very, you know, close offside call, but it was correct, so fair enough. I think Chilwell might need a rest. He might do, but hey, it's Tuesday. We only play Sunday. He'll be fine by Sunday. Werner had a bad game. Deal with it, but he will be fine. He's had bad form. He's had bad form like all elite players do. Yeah, no, for sure. For sure. How do we deal with Spurs' counter-attack? Pressing. Kante's world class will play different when he's not on the ground. Well, he came on in the 65th minute. It was 1-0 at that point. He wasn't a pitch when we conceded. So it wasn't all Kante. That was the problem for the not great performance. Werner's positioning is amazing, but his finishing, yes. Werner is starting to heat up, and a few off games he's terrible. Everyone's way too reactionary. I don't know who said he's terrible. I'm just saying he was poor in those 2 games. Hakim Ziyech is incredible. He just played 10 minutes. The whole player quickly motivated. Don't know what that means, but fair enough. I'm with you, Chris. He has 9 goals. Yeah, well, no, he has 8 goals. Abraham is putting pressure on Werner. Is he? Don't think so. Mondi is the best thing that happened to Chelsea last window. Yeah, no, I will agree with this, and I will actually end it on this point. That's fully true. You know, Edouard Mondi changed Chelsea so drastically, and it's quite depressing because I was a fan of Kepa, and I defended him longer than a lot of people did. You know, you guys know that if you follow this channel for a while. Defended him arguably for too long. It's the difference now. I guarantee if Kepa plays today, we concede 3 goals. And that's not necessarily... After the game, I wouldn't always say, oh, Kepa should save that. But it's just different. It's just different. He doesn't come for the crosses. There's not so much commanding when it comes to set pieces. He doesn't make those saves on the line all the time. It is crazy. It is crazy. But yeah, guys, I think we're going to leave it here. I think that's been enough for today. Again, as I said in the beginning already, and as I said throughout as well, be sure to subscribe to Blues Fans TV if you haven't already. That'd be massively appreciated. That help us reach 150,000 subscribers, 200,000 subscribers. So, you know, still a far way to go, a long way to go. So make sure you subscribe because every single one of you counts. And make sure you drop a like. There's still over 350 if you're watching. So make sure you smash the like button right now whether you're watching it live right now or as a video later on. That'd be massively appreciated. And of course, check out my personal channel, to which the link is down in the description below, or just type in that name as you can see on screen, Laurens Vescoli. Subscribe over there for more in-depth analysis of every single game, the day after every single game. I get you guys involved, your opinions, your questions, your thoughts. It's really engaging. So why don't you get involved? Be massively appreciated and be absolutely brilliant. We'll have a good time. And then, yeah, one last shout out to our sponsors. Do order Football Manager 21 with the link down in the description and get 10% off using the code BluesFansTV. And also, if you want to order any of the new Chelsea gear, make sure you use the other link down in the description and use our promo code READY for up to 30% off selected items. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Up the Chelsea, and I'll see you when I see you.